Hey everybody, what's going on? We are here. We're here for the live stream, the great live stream event, and it's gonna be awesome. There's a ton of records that showed up while I was on vacation. Well, it was a vacation hold, so um, thankfully these weren't waiting in the sun for me. But yeah, I'm excited to open these, and I know there's some good ones in there. I looked at some of the labels, and I remember. But let's let a few people come in, and then we'll get started with the fun. What's up, Nick, Ryan, James, Travis? Pierre wants to know my opinion on Playboy Cardi. I warmed up to Playboy Cardi a little more after hearing him on Donda. I couldn't really connect with any of his solo albums, even Dilate. Like, it's not for me. I'm not a huge trap guy. But he's all right. He's pretty good. Of all the trap guys, he's one of the better ones for sure. Hey, what's up, Lisa? Thank you. Hey, Connor, Frank, Mark. Yeah, guys. So this was a totally impromptu. It was prompted by me having like, I don't know, 20 mailers pop up outside my house. I was actually in Knoxville for a while, visiting a friend, a good friend of mine, and I have a video that I'm working on of my dig in Knoxville and what I found. So that's coming in the next week or so. But this is going to be a fun little thing in the meantime, right? Like, let's do a little unboxing. Let's start with, by the way, if you guys could smash that like button, that would help the YouTube stop screwing me over, because they've been doing that for about 2 years now, and it's extremely frustrating when they don't promote your stuff to 40,000 followers. They promote it to like 100. Hey, Roland's here. Roland is my partner in opening the record store. If you guys didn't see, if YouTube did not serve up the video that I made, I am opening a record store with Roland here in Portland, Oregon, and we're going to be documenting the process as it goes along. This is for some Q&A for the record store as well. I will do the Q&A for the record store after I unbox all the records. So if you have any question that's like a burning desire, please feel free to super chat me, and then I'll stop what I'm doing. But until then, it is time to do the do. Hey, Chris is here. Travis, I hope that the freezing is not on my end. Let's see. So we're starting off with a mini record. I think these are called vinyl minis. Let's see what mini... Small record, big sound. That's what I like to say. Small record, big sound. What have we here? Yes, I know what this is. So, I ordered this with the absolute quickness, because this is a combination of many artists I love collaborating in a 7-inch. This is Kishibashi and L1011 collaborating, as well as Tall Tall Trees and L1011. So Tall Tall Trees is a kind of folkier act. I've never really been too big into their music, but L1011, if you guys have been following this channel, I've been singing their praises for close to 7 years now. They're one of my favorite instrumental acts, bordering on post-rock. Really, really, really fascinating sounds. It's a guy with I think he uses a 12-string guitar a lot, but then there's a drummer that has a massive drum kit, and they just come up with these absolutely hypnotic melodies. And Kishibashi is indie pop violin virtuoso. Huge fan of him as well. So their collaboration in my head is like perfect. So very excited to hear this. I'll probably spin this tonight. I bought it without even listening, just because I can't imagine Kishibashi and L1011 being anything less than stellar. So excited for that. I think that's going to be a really nice listen. All right, what have we here? This is a very taped up box. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do my surgery. It's amazing, guys. It's amazing that I haven't cut myself on one of these yet. I feel like that's bound to happen eventually. All right. As I slide the box cutter towards my torso. That's how you're supposed to do it, right? Oh yeah, Chris Chris is sending me a clean copy of an original All Things Must Pass. So excited to get that and give it a spin. And compare it to the remaster that I just listened to. This is The Plugs I Met 2. This is a Benny the Butcher tape. Benny the Butcher is one of my favorite rappers currently doing like the underground stuff. He's part of the Griselda gang, which is like West Side Gun and Conway. I'm much more into Benny's stuff than their stuff for the most part. I would say the best rappers in this kind of new wave are probably Benny the Butcher, Makami. I like Ason Eastwood a lot, and I like Cypher Soze. So those are probably my top picks. But yeah, I ordered this a long time ago. My buddy actually grabbed it for me because he was able to get 2 when he got his, and I finally got him to ship it to me. So not a new release per se, but new to the collection, which is always nice. All right. And the first rip... No, I'm not even gonna try... Should I try to rip it? I'm gonna screw it up. This already looks like a bad idea. Oh! Alright. Number one. Let's see. So this is something that I unfortunately can't talk too much about because I don't know it that well. I just know it's adjacent to an artist I really love, which is an artist called Nothing Nowhere. This is Gucci High Waters. Gucci High Waters is, I guess it's kind of emo-y, rock, perhaps? I don't really know, but everyone was hyping this album up, and it's featuring Nothing Nowhere, and I decided to grab it, because with stuff like this, sometimes you don't get it, and then it's gone forever, and you're like, man, I wish I had jumped. What's crazy now is that I feel like if you think I'm unhinged now with my purchasing, it's going to be an excuse now that, oh, if I ended up not liking the record, I could just put it in the record store, which is a very dangerous road to go down. But I also think it's going to be cool for the store. So Gucci High Waters, don't know too much about it, but excited to hear it. All right. Let's see. We got another one of these rip and dips. Let's see. Man, I'm 2 for 2. Guys, should I play the lottery? I'm 2 for 2 on rips. Usually this blows up in my face, but tonight we are champions. All right. I picked this up because I decided to be a minor variant collector. I already have a version of this, but this is an album I love from my high school days. This is Dispatch's Silent Steeples. It is really good, roots, jammy, reggae-ish, kind of folk rock. They're extremely catchy, and the music on here is beautiful. I mean, you probably know a few of these tracks. Hey Hey was huge. Elias is one of my favorite songs by them. But this is one of their albums before they kind of had a whole bunch of commercial hits. This was, I think, their first record, actually. But they just did a repress. This has been out of print for quite a long time. I have another variant over there. I think this is like a blue variant, and that one might be white, I want to say. Maybe gold? I'm not sure. But if you guys like Dispatch, if you don't know Dispatch, I mean, it's extremely chill, fun music to listen to. I don't really know their new albums that well. I feel like I fell off after album 3 or 4. But I will say that I go back and revisit the old stuff fairly frequently. All right. Let's keep going. It's a nice little intimate live stream tonight. There's usually about double the amount of people in here. It means that I'll get to more questions later, which is very exciting for you guys. Hopefully. I don't know. All right. So this is one that I'm excited about, but also kind of bitter about, and I'll explain why. This is Snow Allegra. Ugh, those feels again. This was Snow Allegra is an amazing kind of R&B, little neo soul artist. She is terrific, and her albums sell out very quickly, and then people ask ridiculous prices online. This is one that I missed because I got into her just after this album dropped, and they were already like extremely overpriced on the aftermarket. But she did a drop on her store where she restocked the black and the limited green variant. And I was like, man, I'm going to go for the green. I can't believe it's restocked because the green's like this really cool shade of green. And I had it in my cart and I was paying and I got robbed in my cart, as all of you guys probably know this feeling. I got completely robbed from my cart and I did not get the green, but I was able to snag the black, and the black sold out like 30 minutes later. So I think I made the right choice. It's also a very good album. She's amazing. I wish that she would collaborate more with other artists. I feel like her voice would go really nicely with so many modern artists. Like, she should be working with everyone, but not enough. So yeah, excited that I was able to get this. Joseph says he was able to snag the green one because he was on Reddit. Well, guess what? I too was on Reddit and I didn't get it. I wasn't fast enough. Whatever. Matthew Peterson, what's up, man? First super chat of the night. Thank you so much. Glad to hear I'll be making videos on the process of opening the record shop. Yes, I already have a list of videos I want to make that are mostly going to be my thoughts on how the shop should be while soliciting you guys for some ideas, because I always, I want this store to be, and Roland agrees with me, a place that is sourced by the ideas of the people. Like, we want this to be a store people love to go to, and it's like their ideal record store. So I know what my ideal record store is, but maybe that's not the same for everyone. So I'm going to be doing videos about all kinds of things, whether it's what to do about the price tags or how do you like your bins, all kinds of things, and we're going to have a nice discussion, and it's going to be fun leading up to the opening. Really, really excited for that. So the next step is locking in the location. We're kind of going back and forth right now with the landlord, and we're trying to figure it out. But the location is going to be key, and I think we have a good one, but it's just a little pricier than we're hoping for. All right, what have we here? Oh, I ordered this forever ago. I totally forgot I ordered this. This is a Vaporwave record. Go figure. I actually, funny enough, I get criticized for talking about Vaporwave too much, and I haven't talked about Vaporwave on this channel in like 2 years, outside of the odd unboxing. I feel like I had a huge Vaporwave phase, and then it kind of petered out, and there were some albums I really, really loved, and then some that I just realized were kind of forgettable. But what I will say about Vaporwave is that Telepath does not miss, and everything Telepath does is amazing. And this is a collaboration with HKE called Gateway. I used to own this cassette tape, but then they decided to do a vinyl pressing. Yeah, it just really good, kind of like ambient vapor with a little bit of a droney kind of beat to it. I was really excited. I hope that more Telepath goes on vinyl. His best album is called Mysterious Lover. It's all in Japanese though, so if you search that, it might not come up. But yeah, John, super chat. Thank you. Can I repost the link to the GoFundMe for the store? I pinned it to the top of the thing. Can you guys see it up there? It's like if you click the pinned comment, you should be able to see the link. Someone tell me if that does not work. Maybe I should edit it. Hold on, let me see if I... Maybe people don't click through the link. Let's see. Should be there. Do you guys... if you click the pinned comment, can you guys see the link? It's there. Okay, cool. So, John, thank you. I'm assuming you're going to go to check out some of the perks. We have a ton of really fun perks, ranging from inexpensive ones to a little more pricier ones that give you a little more bang for your buck. So hopefully, we still have about 5 weeks left, 4 weeks or so, I think, of the campaign. So hopefully over the next 4 weeks, if you can muster up some help for the store, it's much appreciated. This is, Roland and I are putting some serious coin into this, but any amount of money really helps us in getting the store up and running in the way we want it to, We want it to be good. We don't want to cut corners. We want it to be a really special, well-made store. All right, let's keep the train rolling. Oh, what? I just unboxed this. Did I order 2 or did they accidentally send me 2? I gotta double check my order and make sure I didn't accidentally order 2. Well, 1 for the store. This was unintentional. I was not buying multiple copies. I just either got a free one or I accidentally ordered 2. Who knows? Let's move on to the next one. Because I want to talk the store with you guys. I want to get into it. You know, I want to. All right. Oh, this is cool. So, this is the knife deep cuts. I think this is. There's no sticker indicating it as such, but this should be the magenta repress. The Knife is an Icelandic band. Really good electro pop kind of stuff. And on this album is Heartbeats, which is the song that one of my favorite artists, Jose Gonzalez, covered and made famous with his folk rendition of it. But this is a very, very good electro pop album. I did own the black variant, and now I upgraded to the colored. Actually, it's not an upgrade necessarily, because it might not sound good. I don't know. But only one way to find out. Throw it on the table and see what happens. So, the Knife, very good. You know what I've been jonesing to listen to? It's in my stack. It's in my shelf. But do you guys remember their album Shaking the Habitual? That was an album that I was really into when I first got into vinyl. And I remember specifically I went to like an Urban Outfitters and they had it for sale on it was like for sale, on sale. It was like, I think like $15, and it's a really thick jacket. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 discs, but I remember being like, wow, what a great deal. That's back before I was a kill on site at Urban Outfitters, where they tried to, now they sound the alarm when they see me coming. Gotta, not that I actually go there anymore, but yeah, Shaking the Habitual. That's a dope record for sure. I don't normally take a break and read the comments, but I just saw John said, I met Jose Gonzalez when I was working on Secret Life of Walter Mitty. He signed your 7-inch of the song. That's awesome. I have that 7-inch also. I met him because I bought a meet and greet pack for one of his shows in LA a couple years back. There were like 7 of us standing in a semicircle in the lobby before the show, and everyone else was really shy and didn't want to talk to him, and I'm very outgoing, so I was mostly, unfortunately, leading the conversation. I was asking him things like, are you going to tour with Junip again? He said maybe down the road, and he signed my Heartbeats 7-inch, the one that's the split with the Knife version, and he was super sweet. He took a picture with me. I mean, like, Jose Gonzalez is just one of my favorite artists. Every time I've seen him live, I'm seeing him again in October, and I truly can't wait. So yeah, I'm also very much looking forward to his upcoming album that's coming out. So here we go. As you guys know, if you guys have been watching my live streams, before I show this record, there's 91 people and 29 likes. If you could please hit the like button. It takes you a second. I'm spitting slam poetry about records to you guys, and just hit the like. It's real quick. If you guys have been watching my live streams, you'll know that I'm going down a rabbit hole of a new band that I've fallen in love with, and it is a band called U2. And I always kind of clowned on them in the past because Bono was kind of like, known for making these kind of douchey comments, and some of their music I thought was cheesier than it really is. But now that I'm giving them a real chance and I'm a little older and can kind of appreciate it a little more, U2's amazing. And this is one I've been really excited to hear. This is a lot of people's favorite album of theirs, and I haven't heard it outside of like a single or two. So this is Achtung Baby. I tracked down the new pressing, which apparently sounds very good, and I think it's the first time it's over 2 discs. The big single from this is Mysterious Ways, but yeah, I'm very excited to give this a listen. This album cover reminds me of Pearl Jam's No Code for some reason, but very excited to dive in and listen, because everything I've heard so far I've listened to in full. I've obviously heard almost all of, if not all of, the Joshua Tree, but I haven't done a re-listen since I started getting into them. But I've listened to Zooropa, which was amazing. I listened to Pop, which was very good. I listened to a bunch of How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb, and there were some hits but some kind of weak songs. I listened to all the things you've left behind, all the things you can't leave behind, whatever has Beautiful Day on it. I really liked most of that album. I listened to, what else did I hear by them? Oh, I listened to War, loved it. So yeah, I'm really enjoying almost everything of theirs. So getting into U2. You talking U2 to me. Let's do it. Got a little baby strip. Is this the equivalent of pulling the wishbone and getting the smaller size? Does that mean that the record inside is warped? Did I lose the cosmic bet with the mailer that we had? Why me? Why is this happening to me? All right. Been excited to hear this. This is the new Big Red Machine album. If you guys don't know who they are, my favorite band's The National. Bryce Dessner is the... Aaron Dessner. I thought Bryce was in this too. No, okay. Aaron Dessner is one of the two brothers in The National. He's a guitarist. And Justin Vernon, a.k.a. Bon Iver, have a side project called Big Red Machine. I did not love the previous release, or maybe there's two releases, but there was one big album. I didn't love it. It was not bad, but it was just unmemorable to me. I feel like even with like how much I love these artists, I didn't really feel any kind of connection to the material. This one I'm very excited for because there's a song featuring Taylor Swift, 2 songs, and there's also 2 songs featuring Anais Mitchell, 3 songs featuring Anais Mitchell, who has worked with Bon Iver on the Hadestown soundtrack as well, which is also amazing. And Fleet Foxes are on here too. So this is probably going to be a great listen. I will admit I have heard mixed reviews. I was looking on Reddit, and there were a lot of people saying and echoing the sentiment that this album has a lot of great songs, but it doesn't feel very cohesive as a full album. I will make my own decision, but I feel like this is such an all-star cast of people that are involved. Also, there's a Sharon Van Etten, Lisa Hannigan, and Sharon Nova track. Yeah, this is going to be pretty fun. I'm excited to listen. Let's see. Yes, Chris, you do need to get some National. So this is a funny story. This is funny. Let me get into it. It's not funny. It's sad. So I love pop punk and emo rock. And this is like one of those genres I've been a huge fan of for a long time. The Wonder Years are a band that many people consider to be one of the best within those genres. I was never into them. I never gave them a full chance. I kind of ignored them for the most part. For some reason, they just never crossed my path in a serious way. And I had a copy of this that I bought at a record store of it's the single disc gray version, and I listened to it and it sounded terrible, like pressing wise. I didn't like it, but I saw people were buying it for like, I don't know, $60 to $80 on Discogs. So I sold the copy, and it was in perfectly fine condition. It just didn't sound good to me. So I heard that the 2 LP version was better, but I didn't get the 2 LP. Anyway, I'm meandering too much. I sent this to a guy overseas, and I guess the post must have dropped it in like a puddle or something, because the guy sent me pictures when it showed up, and it was like the mailer was soaked, the record was soaked, like it was absolutely destroyed. So he didn't even accept the the delivery, so it got sent back to me, and I saw it, and it was like absolutely wrecked. So unfortunately, I have this like wrecked copy of this single LP, but I listened to it digitally after I fell in love with... This is such a bad story. I'm sorry, I'm bad at telling this. I listened to their album Sister Cities, which I got in my Amoeba haul recently, and it's one of my favorite albums I've heard in the past decade. I fell in love with them, and I decided to go track down the 2-disc pressing of this, which apparently sounds better. Anyway, that's the whole story. Sorry for that taking so long. That wasn't exactly ideal. This mailer, I know what this is. This is from Big Wax, and these are 2 records that I have been waiting for a very long time. Let's hope that they survived, because the mailer has a little bit of damage on it. Let's see. Everyone asking questions about the record store. I have a few more records to get through, and then we'll just do some serious Q&A of the record store. I just wanted to get through the records first, and then we'll do the Q&A. But if you have a super chat for me, that will work too. All right. How's the damage? Pretty good. Pretty safe. Amazing. These are 2 albums by Sid Matters. These 2 have been out of print since I got into record collecting, I believe, and they've been on the top of my want list. And I remember the night that I saw the pre-order go up on Big Wax, bigwax.io, I think, if they're overseas. I
I freaked out. I remember having like a moment where I was like, I can't believe they're getting repressed. It's like always such a nice feeling to know that albums that you really, really want, you don't always have to pay a ton of money because sometimes they get repressed. So Sid Matters, A Whisper and a Sigh, and Someday We Will Foresee Obstacles. I always forget that full title. If you like kind of like intimate, soft, psychedelic folk, a little Jose Gonzalez vibes to it, but definitely just sometimes a little down tempo-y with the melodies. Sid Matters is phenomenal, and these two records are his magnum opus together, I believe, and they were both, like I said, super out of print. I'm very excited to hear these. I'll probably spin one of these tonight, but really happy that these got pressed. I think they're still in stock, so if they are, go to Big Wax and check it out, because once these are gone, I feel like they're going to be out of print again for another decade. So check them out. Sid Matters, really, really good music. All right, here we go. We got something from Crates. I'm assuming this is some lo-fi BS I ordered half asleep at 3 in the morning, maybe. Let's see. Oh, no, it is not. It is certainly not. It is my first look at... I thought I ordered more than one of these. That's very weird. This is my record! Well, not really mine. I didn't make the music. But this is the record I pressed. Look at that. Where is it? Look at that logo on the bottom. Ooh, that's a big logo. I think I made it a little too big. Either way, that's me. I pressed this album by Tribe called I Am What I Am. I have not got to listen to it yet. It's always so cool to hold a record in my hands that I pressed on my label. And it's amazing to listen to it. I spun the test pressing, so I know it sounds great. I feel like they might have dulled the color on the cover a little bit more than I wanted it to be. I think the cover is a little brighter, but maybe I'm misremembering. But here, check this out. That's a cool splatter, right? I always try to do something a little different, right? And this is I think this is a pretty rad splatter. I'm excited to listen. Again, I love this album, and Siri was absolutely lovely to work with. She's super talented, super sweet, and yeah, very, very excited. I thought I ordered like 5 copies. I usually get 5 copies for like the archives. Maybe there's another box incoming at some point, but yeah. Regarding the record label, we still have 2 more records to ship. We have Marcus D, Melancholy Hopeful, which I spoke to the plant yesterday, and it's still on track to be pressing middle of October. I don't know when Souvenir Contra is gonna ship, but I'm assuming around then too. I have some more stuff in the works for future pressings. I just feel like I don't want to be asking you guys to support the record label while I'm asking you to support the record store crowdfund. So I'm trying to space it out. I'm not trying to like constantly have things for you guys to help me with, or help, you get something out of it too. But yeah, there'll be more updates about the record store later this year, if not next year. Record store, I meant record label. There'll be updates about the record store constantly. This is a rare case where someone turned me on to a Vaporwave-esque record, and I listened to 2 tracks, and I was immediately sold. This is a label called Villain, who does only really great things. And this is an album called Installing Symbiotopia. No, that's not the name of the album. The album is Bathroom Plants. I think it's Bathroom Plants. It's kind of like, I guess you would qualify it as like nature wave. It's like kind of like nature-y ambient music with a vaporwave lens. It's extremely pleasant to listen to. It's really, really nice. And the disc, I believe, is a cool variant as well. Let me double check. It is, but you can't really tell. It's one of those ones that looks great under light. But yeah, this is really atmospheric. This will be the kind of stuff that we're playing in the store while we're waiting for customers to come in, right, Roland? Play a little plant wave, a little nature wave action. Let's see. All right, we got a couple more of these, and then we'll do some Q&A about the store. we here? Oh, this is one I'm very excited for. I forget, someone was talking about this. Was it in the TMR group? Maybe not. This is Nils Lofgren, Acoustic Live. If you guys are familiar with Nils Lofgren, he was in the band Grin. He was also in the E Street Band with Bruce Springsteen. Very accomplished musician, and people were saying that this is an Acoustic Sounds pressing, and Acoustic Sounds presses some of the highest quality audio recordings that I'm aware of. This is a live album by Nils Lofgren from, I forget what year that the actual album came out, 1997. And people say it sounds like he's like in your living room. It sounds like he's like right there. It's 200 gram. The pressing's like super heavy. So really excited to hear this. I feel like when you have a nice setup like I do, and you really can tell the difference between an audiophile pressing and just a regular pressing. Like, they really are night and day, and maybe it'd be harder when you have an entry-level setup to really decipher those nuances. At least I couldn't back in the day. But very, very excited to listen to this. This is going to be a really intimate show. Close my eyes and pretend he's here. Very excited. Very excited. Sometimes I feel like I just want to limit my collection to only albums that specifically sound better on vinyl. And maybe one day I will. Maybe having a record store, I'll end up liquidating a ton of my collection and just keeping the ones that sound the best. Because I love collecting. I'm always going to be a collector, I feel like, at heart. But it is expensive. It takes up a lot of space. And you don't have time to listen to everything. But I don't know. That's another discussion to be thought about over time. We will see. What have we here? Oh, yeah. Michael Menert, Dreaming of a Bigger Life. I don't know if this one is still in stock. I think this was a Digger's Factory release, if I remember correctly. So Michael Menert was part of Pretty Lights, which is a very iconic kind of down-tempo, trip-hoppy electronic act. I really like his stuff. I know there's one up for sale right now. That's another album of his that has a 3-disc pressing, and it's really beautiful. It's like this massive fold-out gatefold, and it has 3 different colored discs. But if you guys like the band Pretty Lights, you should definitely check out Michael Menert's stuff. It's fantastic. And this is, I'm really excited to listen to this on vinyl. I think it's going to sound great. So shout out to Digger's Factory for doing these cool pressings and letting this stuff happen. I feel like between some of these other kind of scrappier sites like Big Wax and Digger's Factory, we're getting a lot of cool represses, which I'm a big fan of. So that is rad. And I'm excited to get the next Michael Menert record, which I think is still on sale. If you go to Digger's Factory and search his name, listen to it. You will, if you like trip hoppy kind of down tempo stuff, you will love his stuff. All right. This mailer is jacked up. This is not what you want your mailers to look like when they show up. Having that, like, not my favorite. Get out of here. So this is, probably have to open this to show you. This is a guy named Michael Zucker, not to be confused with Mark Zuckerberg. And he is a musician who recreated selections of the soundtrack from Super Mario Bros. 3 and from the original Legend of Zelda. And he created it with organic instruments. And it comes on this really cool yellow wax. I love both those soundtracks. The original Nintendo was what I grew up on. And I'm pretty excited to give this a spin. I love kind of covers of video game albums. So very stoked on that. And here's the last one for this stream, but we still will talk about the store after this, so don't you go anywhere. Hold your dang horses. All right. Oh man, Tony and I were just talking about this on Facebook. We both got suckered into the Turntable Lab Salt represses. All 4 of their records. If you guys don't know Salt, SAULT, they are a collective of semi-anonymous, incredible musicians that span rap, soul, R&B. It's everything that you want in music, and every one of their albums has hit, and Turntable Lab just did a clear repress of all of them. I already had all of them on black, so if these sound good, black ones go to the store, these ones go to the collection. But Salt is, yeah, I'm very excited to listen to them. And yes, Cleo Soul is amazing. She is one of the people in Salt, and her new album, Mother, I think, just came out or went up for a pre-order. I pre-ordered that too because she has such a stellar voice. So yeah, those are the unboxings for tonight. This is a box graveyard right here. This is a lot to deal with. But right now, let's spend the rest of this time talking about, let's chat about some store stuff. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. I would love to answer, and Roland's here too, so Roland should be able to answer some stuff as well. Let's get it. What do we have? Let me see what questions I've missed. Fantano's Donda review just dropped. I feel like he's gonna underrate it. I think Donda was amazing. You guys hopefully saw my video where I reviewed it. I gave my first impression review. I'm sure his is gonna be a little more pseudo-intellectual. But John, Super Chat, thank you. Been thinking about getting those Salt records. Are they worth it? Yes, my man! Did I not just spread the gospel of Salt for like 3 minutes? Yeah, you should absolutely get them. Every single Salt record I think is a must-own so far. U2's Octong Baby pressing is great. I will like it. Yes. That makes me happy. I've heard only the same thing. What kind of background music for the store? That's a really good question. I feel like if Roland's there and I'm not, it's absolutely going to be some sort of ambient techno or tech house. If I'm there and Roland's not, I feel like it'll just be whatever I'm in the mood for that day. I think a good tactic at a record store that I've fallen prey to before is to play something that you have for sale that you know is really good, so that someone who comes in is like, oh, who is this? And then you'd be like, oh, it's this artist, and you can buy it. And I've done that and purchased the record at least 3 times in my whole digging career. So I'll probably play things that I think have a widespread appeal, but maybe people don't know. It encourages me to dialogue with them, because I really want to be a store owner that, isn't overburdening people with conversation. Not everyone wants to come into a store and talk, but I want to be available more than most store owners are to talk about the music and help people find stuff they're into. Where will the store be located in Portland? That's a great question. We are still searching. We have one spot targeted. I don't want to announce that yet until we move forward, which we're in the process of potentially moving forward. If we get this spot, I will make a video about it. If we don't get this spot, I will make a video about that as well. And I guess we'll kind of just go from there. We're not going to be in the heart of downtown. We probably won't be in Southeast, but that's pretty much all we know for now. What am I most excited about in owning a record store? I feel like just being around records all day. I mean, I am in my... It's one thing to be in my record room / office, but it's another thing to be, like, in a store. I feel like I said this in my video announcing the store. Record stores have always felt like a second home to me, and I really think that, like, I will find great joy in spending a lot of time, even though it's going to be a lot of work. I'm going to enjoy meeting customers that will become repeat customers and, regulars and maybe eventually friends. Like, it's like a cool thing to me to like be a part of this music community that Portland has. Am I gonna have a jazz section in the store? Actually, yes, and I have a very funny interesting story that might warrant its own video about our jazz section, because upon opening, the jazz section is going to be stacked, and I can't say why yet, but trust me, it's gonna be crazy. What size store am I hoping for? We're looking at places that are between 1,000 and 1,500 square feet. probably closer to the 1500 just because we want to have a stage in the store for in-store, but one nonetheless. So, yeah, we're looking at basically that size. Will owning the record store make me have to cut down on my travel videos? No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm still planning on traveling a lot. You know, when I travel, I can also look